Frank, you obviously been out of the management for a while. Do you feel refreshed coming to Coventry?
Yeah, I guess I do. I think it's a very consuming business as a manager, head coach. I enjoy that side of it, but of course, for work-life balance, sometimes being out of the game, other than fielding the questions of when you're going to get back in the game, you actually can try and spend some valuable family time and valuable learning time of seeing the game from the outside. Thinking about, reflecting on things, looking to the future, trying to be better for when you next come to work. So that's been a nice period. I've got young children as well, so that's been great. But I feel certainly refreshed and ready to go, and very happy to be here, ready to go.
Frank, by any measurement, you've had an amazing career, a very illustrious career as a player. What draws you to do football management? Because surely you don't need to, and why at Coventry City?
I wouldn't say I don't need to. I mean, that's too simplistic. I understand your point. I had a long career, so certain people might think I don't need to. I guess if they're talking financially, I guess, maybe. But when you live something and you have a long playing career and you decide to go into coaching and management, all of a sudden you start again in certain ways. So from being a player where you can be selfish, you concentrate on yourself, what part of the team you have, you're the holder of a lot of responsibilities that you never even probably thought about. So me stepping into Derby for that first time was a big eye-opener of, wow, this is about people as much as it is about football and things like that. So when you're interested in those things and you want to get better every day, I can't turn that off. So I've had a nice time out of the game, but I want to get back in because this is what I love doing. I love coaching players, I love working with players on the training ground. I love the idea of giving fans an exciting team to watch and getting results for those fans. And as I look back on my career with Derby, as I said, I get to a player final at Chelsea. We managed to make it to the Champions League at Everton. I stayed up. So I've had good moments and good work, and then moments, obviously, where it leaves me out of a job maybe and coming here. So these are all experiences for me. And as a manager, you have to understand that it will be an accumulation of experiences. And I really look forward to this one. I'm keen to get going.
Is that something that you'll be looking to get a bit of a sprinkling of magic, if you like, here and there? Maybe go on your contacts at Chelsea or something like that?
Yeah, well, who am I going to bring in from Chelsea? Joao Felix or something? I don't know.
Some youngsters.
Yeah, I know. It's not that simple, but I see your point, and there are. I've had a good experience of youngsters from Chelsea, but some periods are different than others. If a player comes, they have to affect us in a really positive way. So, of course, that's what would be work to be done. But we have had some conversation, but absolutely it's not my priority. I think we've got enough games in the meantime, and this squad is strong enough in the meantime to really get to work with what we've got. And, of course, when January comes, if we have a joined-up conversation, we'll make those decisions. But it's certainly not been anywhere near top of the list in our conversation so far. I can speak honestly about that.
Frank, just looking at your managerial record, I mean, first season in Derby, playoffs, I think fourth in the Premier League, FA Cup final with Chelsea, Everton survival despite all the issues that have obviously come to light since you left. But externally, since you've got this job, there's a few people saying it's a bit of a risk. I mean, looking at that record, it's a one to be proud of, isn't it?
Well, I'll let you say that rather than me.
Yeah.
But I think, I'm not an owner hiring a head coach, a manager, but I would say everything probably is a risk in this job. We all make those decisions and views, and also in this modern world, everyone can have an opinion, and I wouldn't expect any opinion, any decision of a manager to be universal, really. I would say the things that you said about my managerial career, the positive things. We have to live the world in a world of the spotlight when you're a head coach. But if you don't want that, then don't sign up for it. And if you're not brave enough to take that, then don't worry. Sit at home and be an ex-player that decides to do something else. It's much easier to work in the media. It's much easier to sit at home or play golf. I like to work. So my only answer to any people like that, which is what it would always be, is, well, just give me a chance to work. Because at the clubs I've worked at, I think I've done some good work, and I know I have good staff with me, and I feel like I'm walking into good people around me, and those things are very important. If I've learned anything in my managerial lifetime, it's that when you work with good people in the same direction, then you have a chance to have success. So let's try and do that. But people are very, very entitled to their opinion. Absolutely.
A bit of time's passed, Frank, since you left Chelsea the second time. How would you say you changed in terms of your approach to the job, not tactically and everything like that, but maybe within yourself and how you would approach players and approach certain situations?
Oh, listen, when I left Chelsea, I went into a job that was. It was a bit of babysitting from me, if I'm honest, in terms of going over to Tide Over for 7 weeks, and I learnt a lot. Not on coaching terms; it wasn't a coaching job; it was a holding the baby job whilst the transition was happening. And I learnt that if you don't get the environment right, then it's very difficult to succeed. And Chelsea in that moment was in transition. Now, as I think you can see, the environment's changing there, and you can see the results of that, on the pitch mainly. So I know those things. So from all my experiences, I've sort of you learn. Bit by bit, and even if you say not tactically, when I'm out of the game, it gives you even more time to look at the game from outside the box, from outside the staff office at Everton or staff office at Chelsea. It's actually what's happening with the game. I watch so many games a week at home, so that's quite nice. You can really study time to things you want to improve a little bit, things you're seeing. So hopefully I've improved in different areas.
Why have you bothered? Because you don't need this. I mean, you
how do you know?
How
do you know?
Do you know?
I don't know.
Do you need? I mean, I don't know.
No, I understand it, but it's like a loose question. I actually get asked that a lot. Are you going to get back in the game? Like, why do you need to? I go, well, I'm 46. I must put my slippers on.
Do you know what I mean? It's vulgar talking about him, but you can have you've been incredibly successful. You've got your pick of the things you could do. You could go and buy an off-the-shelf business and run that, or you could go into football. You could go into consultancy. You could go into agency. There's lots of different.
I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that. It's a certain time.
But you don't have to put yourself through this. It's a more dry existence, isn't it?
Yeah, but I've had these questions before when I've been working, and they come. No, but it's true. But they come from you, and maybe I want to flip it and ask you why are you doing your job? Like, it's not all it's.
I've been doing it for 33 years. So
well, there you go. Okay.
Yeah.
It's wearing you down. I don't.
Not as much as marriage.
It's a double whammy. I don't listen. I get it, as I say, because a lot of people talk about the stresses put on management. Again, you have to be big enough to take it, but there is also enjoyment in it. There's also enjoyment of getting up, and putting yourself out there and taking on the challenge of working with players, trying to win a game, trying to pick a squad, learning about people, working with your owners, working with people around you. And there'll be some really good people that I'll be walking into, which I feel today in the building, that I can get some of their expertise in analysis or sports science and these things coming together. That's a great challenge for me. So, it's very sort of simple to say, why don't you just sit at home? I don't want to. I want to work.